Welcome back, everyone. Shifting space innovation into hyperdrive. The Hyperspace Challenge was created in 2018 by the Air Force and CNM Ingenuity to accelerate partnerships between the government and startups. And now it's accepting applications for its 2020 cohort, which begins in October. I spoke with Captain Roger Anderson, Deputy Program Director for the U.S. Space Force Accelerator Programs, to find out more details. Joining us this morning, we have Captain Roger Anderson with the Air Force Research Labs at Kirtland Air Force Base. Good morning.
Good morning.
Before we start, I want to thank you so much for your service for our country and for our community here. I'm excited about this topic that we're covering because it's super neat. It's called Hyperspace Challenge. For our viewers who have no idea what that is, explain to us what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Hyperspace Challenge is a business model accelerator that's run by CNM Ingenuity and sponsored by the Air Force Research Labs, and it supports the U.S. Space Force. And the purpose of the program is to bring together the startup community, universities, university teams, and the government to support space technology and accelerate innovation for space.
We were chit-chatting before we started this interview. You went into detail about how the program works and how this could really be a launching pad for some startups. Give us more details about that.
Absolutely. So we're really interested in reaching out to the startup community and those who haven't really done business with the government. So it's a great opportunity for those interested in doing business with the government to come out and work with us. And the way that the program works is it's conducted through a series of webinars and virtual meetings. Previously, the program has been in person, but with circumstances this year, we're conducting the whole thing virtual. And so startups and university teams who want to participate in the program can expect a few things. One is right now, this week, we're actually conducting webinars that introduce certain topics and certain focus areas in the theme, in the realm of this year's theme, which is trusted autonomy. So startups and universities can hear what the government is interested in and understand if they want to go and participate further within Hyperspace Challenge. And if there's that interest, then they can participate and fully in the program and apply to participate in the next part. And the next component is a few more webinars, but focused on teaching how to do business with the government, what kind of opportunities there are, what kind of contracts and agreements are in place that they might be able to leverage and gain that kind of understanding. And the final piece of the Hyperspace Challenge is these one-on-one discussions. So the government sponsors who we're hearing this week, who are experts in the realm of trusted autonomy, will be meeting one-on-one with the final companies and university teams to really have some great discussions so that they can understand, is what the startup's working on, is what the university working on, does it really address what the government is interested in, and the government's able to understand what these other teams are bringing forward. And it's a great opportunity for both sides to learn what's out there.
Now, I know you gave us the theme. So who should be applying for this challenge?
Right. So what we're really interested in for applying to Hyperspace Challenge is those who have not previously worked with the government, because a lot of the programming is focused on learning what kind of opportunities there are. It's a really great program for those interested in working in the government, but haven't quite yet. And another area that we're interested in, we're obviously interested in those who have space technology and are currently thinking about space. But we're also very interested in those who haven't yet thought about space. So, for example, this year's theme is trusted autonomy. And within trusted autonomy, there's a lot of other areas that aren't related to space. But we want those companies and those university teams to understand that there is an opportunity here in space to bring that technology they're developing and apply it towards space technology. And the government, the Air Force, the Space Force is very interested in having them as a customer.
Some startup groups might be thinking, how does this differ from other accelerators?
So the Hyperspace Challenge is different because before we developed any of the programming, the first thing we did was spend a lot of time going out and meeting with startups and understanding their perspective. So the Hyperspace Challenge was built from the perspective of the startups. And this year we're introducing the first time university teams. And we did the same thing with the universities as we went out and spoke with researchers and faculty at the universities to get their perspective. So the program is really built from the perspective of the startups and from the perspective of the university teams. It's a really great opportunity because of that.
Some people at home may be thinking, I know somebody who would love to start, maybe challenging themselves with Hyperspace Challenge. How can they do so? How can they participate?
Well, the thing they need to do right now is they can go to hyperspacechallenge.com, and there they can register for the webinars that are currently occurring. So the webinars are being recorded. So even if they missed a few, they can go back and watch them. But by watching the webinars, they get that initial feel, and they can hear that perspective that the government's bringing forward of what they're interested in. And from there, they can decide, do we have technology that might be able to address some of these needs that they've identified? And if they are interested in applying further, there will be a second round of applications where they submit to address those specific topics that were identified through the webinars. And the application for that closes out September 10th. So right now is the great opportunity for them to visit hyperspacechallenge.com and apply.
And get on board, right? And as I mentioned,
Totally.
this is going to be a great opportunity for some startups. You've also mentioned that some have even received government contracts.
Yes, that's true. So at least 60% of the companies coming through the program have received government contracts, and we also see many other great benefits resulting from the program. So I mean, the real benefit of the program, it isn't what occurs necessarily during Hyperspace Challenge. It's everything that happens thereafter, because we want to see these companies go on to be successful. And we don't want to just see them be successful with the government. We also want to see them be successful commercially. For example, at the end of Hyperspace Challenge, we'll culminate it with a day where the startups and teams can present their technology and their ideas to the government, to commercial, and to venture capitalists. And we're very interested in seeing these companies not just be successful on the government side, but also successful commercially.
Yeah, sounds like a great program. Captain Ona, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you.